Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode in my park. In today's episode, I'm thinking I'm gonna block this area off so you can't see, like right over here. And I'm gonna finish off this coaster and probably start it steaming and like maybe start the paths towards or something. I think I'm gonna add like a lake here, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably change my mind a couple times of what I'm going to be doing through the episode, but I think for sure I will be blocking this off and starting the path and finishing this coaster, starting a bit of theming, but we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that I can at least start the theming in this spot, finish the ride, and like start the path here and block this area off. Because I don't, I like how you can, like, it looks cool just seeing this giant coaster right there, but at the same time, I don't want you to be able to just look and see the entire pirate area. I want to, you have to actually walk in to see it. Because I think that would be really cool. You walk in, and then you see it. I just think that would be a lot cooler than just seeing it. But we'll see what happens. I maybe will make a spot to look, but I don't know. I don't think so. We'll see. Okay, so now we're starting to finish the coaster. Originally, I was trying to make it so it'd go through the loop, but I ended up changing my mind just to make it go up into a mid-course brake run, and I'm quite happy with how that turned out. As you can see me building it right now, the mid-course brake run there. I really do like how that turned out. I think it's a lot better than how it looked when it was still just going through the loop. Plus, it takes up less land now, so that's also nicer. Now I'm making a corkscrew, because every single one basically has an interlocking corkscrews. So I'm doing that, and hopefully it turns out well. I made sure that the intensity was not too high. But yeah. I do like how that turned out. It turned out a lot better than I expected it to, which is nice. Yeah, see, there's the second one, the interlocking one. I think it turned out better than I expected, but I don't know. And I made sure it had not too much Georges. Now I'm making the brake run, which I end up changing later on. And I'm just making some turns towards it now. So originally it was an inversion, but it didn't fit, so I ended up getting rid of it. Yeah, see there, I moved it and changed the brake run and just made it end there, which I like more. But yeah, I would change it because it would like just fly through it. And yeah, that's the entire coaster. I really like how the coaster turned out. I think it was pretty good, but that's up for you guys to decide. It wasn't originally too smooth, so I ended up changing a bunch of it to make it better and look better. But there's still some parts I need to smooth out, which you'll see later on. But yeah, this is me watching it just to make sure it looks good, which I think it does. Now I'm adding that lake I keep talking about, which I was trying not to make it too deep so it's more realistic. I did make it look darker under there so that it would look better. Like I made it like a dark color to make it look deeper even though it's not as deep. Which I don't know if it turned out well. It doesn't look the best in my opinion. Now I'm adding an area for where you'll get on, and it's queue. Uh, I think it's pretty good. I added a little space there for you to be able to, like, for something to be there. I might end up changing the queue later on to add like some building for some kind of pre-show or something, but I don't know. I've never done that before, so it'd be my first time. I would really like to, but I don't think I will. Now I'm messing with the train to make it look better and changing up the queue and the pathway to it because I didn't really like it. I will most likely add another like coaster in the area, like a family coaster near that shipwreck right there. Which I added that to like just add more like, theming stuff. Now I'm making a dock so I could add like a pirate ship for more theming. I really like these things, so any of the hue that's over the water, I added it to it to make it look more like piratey or something. I don't know. Yeah. And now I'm changing up what the lake was like, so I'm trying to add something that when you go through the loop, it'll be in the middle, like how the track before the mid-course break-on was like, but I changed that. But I guess I'm doing that later, because right now I'm messing more with the queue and moving the coaster around to make it look better. Okay, see, here now I am doing that, where I'm making something go through the loop. Because I thought it'd be really cool if there was something in it. I didn't know what, but I knew something and it would be cool. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I was really not knowing what I was going to do, so I started making just random stuff I could put it up on, like something, I don't know. Right now I'm building some kind of like temple or whatever. I'm not really sure, but I thought it would just look cool in the middle of the water. You see, I'm putting it here. Some kind of like abandoned, sunken thing or whatever. I'm making another one for the other side. Which, yeah, I thought was pretty cool, and I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah, now I'm making a ladder that goes across so I could know where to put the thing that it'll be able to rest on both of them. And I'm trying to think right now what to do since I didn't really have an idea. See, now I made it, but I didn't even follow the ladder which I made for me to be able to follow. I also have no clue what I built. I just built something that made it. I thought it looked good, so that's why I put it there. Now I moved it in. I was trying to put it in so it'd be in both of the corkscrews, but it only ended up being in the one, which I think still looks really cool. I'm hoping to be able to add more theming though. And now I'm building like another temple kind of thing that is also sunken, because I didn't know what to do for theming, so I was just continuing the theme of that sunken thing that was, and that's on both sides of the loop. Yeah, now I'm building a washroom because you need a washroom. And yeah, I really like how this turned out, where like it's a little bit further in. I think it looks really good. But other than that, I don't really like how the washroom turned out. But at least later on I learned how to build better buildings, since I'm still kind of learning. Yeah, see, now I got rid of that thing and started, I changed the shape of the lake a lot, made it a lot smaller, so it'd be a lot easier to theme up the coaster, because it would be very hard to do it if there was a bunch of water there. And now I'm changing it up a bunch to make it so it's like less flat and has like a river out, so I can use that for a different themed area later on. Because I think that'd be cool if like it connects through a river or something. Maybe I'd be able to put like a water coaster that goes in it or something, a log flume. Yeah. Now I'm making it so the floor's not too deep again, because that's unrealistic. Now I'm making the washroom look better, because it did not look good at first. So I'm adding some like logs or something that go across to give it more of like a, I don't know, but make it look a little bit better, which I think it looks a lot better, so I'm very happy with it. And now I'm starting the second building in the area, which I don't know what I was trying. I was just trying to build it because I didn't know really what to do. Since at the time I had like no experience building any buildings themed to pirates or anything, so I was just going with whatever's at the top of my head, which I don't think it turned out too well. So yeah, but I'm trying to make it so it's like two different textures or something, where one's closer to the bottom and then at the top it changes. Like some more modern houses, like they have bricks or like big stones at the bottom, and then it goes into like the plaster. So I was trying to do something like that, and I tried adding the logs like on the washroom to add more texture or something, which it did help, but I still don't think it looked very good. Now I'm trying to like add windows and doors to make it look better, because like it looks really plain without. I put that person there so I could see just how big it is. Yeah. I was trying to make it look better because I was like, whoa, this is actually very tall. It's a lot taller than I thought it was. So I started making it smaller and shorten it, which looked a lot better. Still not the best looking though. So I ended up making it like smaller in the wide area too, to hopefully make it better that way. And I didn't like it, so I completely removed it. Now I'm replacing it, since obviously I can't have nothing there. So yeah, I'm replacing it with something that I think looks a lot better, and I'm adding some just random stuff there that make it like less plain. I really like how it turned out. I really like the wooden thing that's like coming down from the top, and I'm using more of the wooden log things because I think they add a lot of character to them, and I really like them, so I'm gonna keep using them a ton. Yeah, I'm probably using a little too much of them, but I don't really care. I really like them. I think they look really good, and they make it a lot more piratey. But yeah, now I'm making like a smaller second level for this building, which is about the height of one of the people in it. I originally was going to put a roof on it, but none of them would fit it since it's not the actual size of like what the roofs are usually. So I ended up just not doing a roof on it, and instead doing the same thing I did for the other roof on this, where it's just some wood there. Now I'm adding even more logs to it, which look really good. I really like how it has like those things wrapped around it. They do make it look really good, in my opinion. I'm making it a little bit taller so I can add something on the side, like a railing or whatever. And I'm adding some more wood so it doesn't look weird, like it's just floating there with two different round spots to hold it up, but instead it has multiple things holding it up. I really like how the ladder fits in it. It looks really cool with it. Now I'm adding some windows so it's not just a plain wall and a door. But yeah, I really like how it turned out, especially for my first actual building in the park, which later on they start getting better in my opinion because I have more experience. Since each of the buildings I get a little bit more experience in doing it. Not by much, but it's still some, which looks good. Yeah, so that's the very first building in the pirate area, other than the washroom. And I'm just adding some random stuff to it now, so it doesn't look plain. Like, it's basically like adding the windows onto the wall, but just adding random crap to it to make it so it's not just completely plain, which I really like because it made it look way better, and it didn't make it just look like it was just some plain roof or whatever. Now I'm adding a ladder up to the second roof, and making it so it's not like you have to walk through the railing. And now I'm adding even more random stuff. But right now I'm adding some things on the walls to make it look more dirty or whatever. So it doesn't look brand new, it looks kind of old or whatever. But I think it turned out very good. And now I'm working on the second building, which is just a little shop. Which I added a path and a door to make it more realistic, because it looks very unrealistic if there was no door. Even though the workers don't actually use the door, they just hop out. But I still think it looks better with a door there. And I'm using even more logs. I also really wanted to use some roof, so I ended up filling with this one, and I made it look really dirty and stuff. And I added some of these things. Yeah, and then I had to find something to put in there because I, for some reason, could not find the right type originally, so I just put a random one. But then eventually I found the right type, and I put it in. And now I'm making it dirty like the other building, because it just adds, I don't know, it just makes it look a lot better in my opinion. Now I'm adding more random stuff to it, just because I can. And it's not just because I can. I think it looks a lot better with more stuff, which I think it turned out pretty decent. Now I'm adding another one of those like abandoned temple things, because it looks weird if they're just one in the middle of the water and nowhere else. Plus, I wanted to add something that didn't look too piratey up there, so that it would also block more than just some dirt. And I was adding some like twigs and stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot. For some reason, some of my footage randomly deleted, so it skipped the building of most of this building. But yeah, I'm building another one out of more rocks or whatever. I really like how this one turned out, because it's like basically two different buildings connected. So it does have like a turn kind of thing in it, and like multiple roofs. I also added like a little bit of roof, and like some of the like floor roof thing, so it would look better. Yeah. It also hid the station more, which I'm still gonna add a station building because that would look weird without. But I did like how it hit it a little bit more. I'm adding some windows, because you can't have a building without windows. Well, you can, just it wouldn't look as good. And after adding windows, I didn't really think it looked too good. So I was messing with the windows some more. Added a drink shop, and then I added some more logs to it, which I think they can basically make any build really good and a lot better. So yeah, I also really like how I put it like this, where it's like one in the middle. I think it looks really good with it. I also like how I can just put it in between the curves, and it still looks amazing. The walls on the side, so you can't just walk off, looked a little like they were a little bit taller than the actual normal building, so I had to like stack one in a piece of one on top. This part was a little bit difficult because I had to make it turn without it looking weird, but I think it turned out quite good. Then I was fixing the back, just because when you leave the roller coaster, you're gonna see it. And now I'm adding a bunch of random crap like crates and boxes and stuff, which make any build look 10 times better, because it looks more realistic since it's just random stuff. It's not very plain. So yeah, I'm very happy with that building too. Now I'm changing the color of the actual coaster and its trains, because it looked weird with the original color that Planet Coaster 2 gave me, like, because it's like set color. Now I'm making that building I just made more dirty looking to make it look more realistic. Yeah. Now I was trying to extend, but I ended up not doing. I added a door, which I made the joints look a little bit rusty, and then I added a pathway so it doesn't look unrealistic since there's a drink shop in there. Now I'm just adding more scenery and rocks and trees and stuff to hide the beginning of the coaster from the path a little more, because it doesn't look the best when you're just walking and you see it right there. So I think that helped. Now I'm trying to hide the pirate area a little bit more from when you first get in by adding some rocks and trees. The trees, I didn't want to put too much because then it would just look weird. So I started adding some rocks and putting some leaves inside. And then I ended up deciding just to add a waterfall to it. So that's what I'm building now, which I think made it look a lot better, even though when you're actually in it, you can't really see it too much. But it still made it look so much better. Then I was making it a little bit further down, so it like bounces a little bit, so it makes it look more realistic because water doesn't just constantly flow in the same way. Now I'm adding some rocks to hide the sides of the water, which I didn't want to make it look weird, the rocks, so I was doing a lot of stuff. Now I'm adding some splashing to it to make it look more realistic, because water without splashing, especially when going from one to another without any splashing, it doesn't look the best. Yeah, now I'm adding more rocks to make it look more clean and hide the sides of the waterfall on the top so that it doesn't look unrealistic. Now I'm adding some more leaves in it to make it look more natural. Now I'm making another building, which I really wanted it to go over the pathway. So I ended up adding these and changing the pathway, which I think made it look a lot better. Yeah. This building, I didn't originally plan for it to be anything. I just planned it to be just there, but I ended up making it into something. But yeah, this building is a lot bigger than the other ones, which I really like because I could not build a absolute ton of just small buildings. So I'm probably gonna make some more big and small ones. But yeah, I was trying to see if it would look better if it was just over half, but I like it a lot better when it's over the entire thing. And now I'm adding more logs and wood things because it makes any build better with more details and stuff. I'll probably make a couple of that. But yeah, see this when I decided to make the inside into something. I was gonna do that, but then I thought that door was better, so I ended up just going with that door. And then I was making the path for the inside of it, and I decided, you know what, let's just make it bigger. Might as well. More space, which I think was a great choice. It's just difficult to do that, so I just used the circle thing. And then I was thinking about making it into a restaurant, but I ended up just deciding to making it into a gift shop, which has free cash registers because they usually get quite busy in this game. I was originally trying to just make it things like it wasn't random themes that aren't piratey, but I ended up giving up later on and just doing stuff. Yeah, I'm just adding a bunch of different things. I've never actually made a gift shop before, so this is my first one. Yeah, I usually just used the pre-made one that they have, but I really like making it on my own because I can make it look different and the theming better. And now I'm making the floor into wood because I didn't really like the stone too much. But I ended up making it so it's like the stone's peeking out a little bit, which I think looks really good because it's kind of like a mix. Yeah, and now I'm adding more shelves because it makes it look better. I'm changing the color of the shelves because the blue didn't really I didn't really like the blue. Plus, since it's pirate themed, I made it brown. It's like wood. Like whenever I think of pirates, I think of brown for some reason, like wooden ships or stuff. So yeah, I ended up making it brown. Which yeah, you can tell that now I do not care about the theme, like keeping it to piratey, like by what's selling. But I still think it looks quite good. Sorry about that. But yeah, see now I'm adding even more random stuff because random stuff makes any build better. I'm just taking some of the stuff from the other builds and adding it. Which there I made one of the barrels kind of like leaning over from one box to the other, which made it like better. And then I changed the color of the rocks, which made it, and the stone, which made it a lot better. And then I changed the wood color because it changed, so I was making it back to what it was. Then it took me a while to actually choose a certain window, but I ended up doing this one, which I think is pretty good because so far I think each building has their own window, which makes it a lot better. I didn't want to add too many windows because then it would look crowded, but I added a lot of them because without it would make it like plain or whatever. Yeah. But then here it wouldn't fit, so I would just make them smaller and closer together so there's free. And then I added even more random stuff like boxes because like I just really you could like say that the boxes are filled with extra stuff or whatever. But even though there's no reason for a ladder, I ended up adding it. Like maybe they're cleaned the window or something, I don't know. But it looked better with it, so I added it. Then I was fixing that because it looked weird. I was adding like a skull for like more piratey theming or whatever, which I think looked pretty good. Now I'm building the station building for the coaster, since obviously every single coaster needs one. Plus, it would just look weird as hell without, and really plain. So yeah, now I'm building that. And the coasters and the park still don't have names. So if you have any name ideas, put that in the comments. I'll see if I like them, and then I'll decide on one. I might not decide by the end, by the next episode. It might be another episode before I decide. But yeah, I was building the station with the same stone as that building that's like right in front of it, because I think it would have looked really weird if it was like right next to each other and it used different materials or whatever. So I ended up making it with the same materials. I also was originally just gonna make it a box with a bunch of stuff, but I ended up adding a little second and third level on it, which made it look a lot better in my opinion. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. And I'm just adding a bunch of random stuff on top of it and stuff. Even though you probably really won't be able to actually ever see that if you're just walking around in the park. But I think it adds a lot of character to the whole thing and makes it just so much better. That's just my opinion though. So if you think I should change anything or add anything, just comment it and I'll see if I think I should do that. But yeah, so comment any of your ideas. Like maybe you want me to add another coaster. You have idea for the pre-show. If I might make one. I'm not 100%. But if you have an idea, but make sure it's not too hard because I'm not the best at doing that. I don't know. I might like do a little voiceover or something for the pre-show if I do add one. But yeah. Now I'm adding windows, which I'm putting one on each side of the wall because if I didn't, it would look weird because on the inside there would be no windows, yet on the outside there'd be a ton of them. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this whole station came out and the rest of the pirate area so far. But I will probably be just adding bigger buildings than the tiny ones that I've been building so far. I'll probably like just make more like the shop area and stuff. I'm also planning on making like a big entrance thing, like a big sign for the entrance or whatever. So yeah, so comment the names you got for it and any flat ride names, and like if you have a flat ride idea, just put that in the comments and the name for it. And yeah, so here's a POV of the coaster, which it's still just a work in progress since it's not fully themed up yet. Plus, I still need to smooth a lot of it since it's not the smoothest in some parts. Like right there, it's like really jerky. Yeah, especially on the inversions, other than the loop. See, like right there, it's really not the best. So I'll be fixing that in most likely the next episode, which I will not be having one of these episodes come out next week, but I most likely will have it the week after, but I'm not 100% on that. But next week, I have an idea for a different thing, which I've already been working on for a while. Well, not too long, just since I can never focus. I've been working on it for a while. But yeah, so I think you guys will like it a lot, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you come back soon, and thank you for watching. See you next time.